Okay, so today's date is 4/28/21, and we're going to continue with circles, but today I'm going to teach you area of a circle. And if I feel like there's time, I'll show you a next level area of circles. So we'll do basic ones, and then if there's time, we'll take it to the next level. If not, I'll take it to the next level tomorrow. All right, so when we talk about area for any shape, we're talking about like the inside of it, right? So circumference was going like around the circle, like if you were gonna walk around the circle, that's circumference. It's like perimeter. Area, and we didn't come up with a brand new name for area of a circle. We didn't call it some like random sophisticated name. We kept it area. Yay. That means the inside, right? So any shape, area is the inside. Sometimes students think of like carpet or grass, or like you're going to paint the wall. So how much area needs to be covered with the paint? How much area needs to be covered with the carpet? Sometimes you'll get word problems like that. So area is just like the inside part. Okay, circumference is going around the circle. All right. So the formula for area of a circle: area is equal to pi, so we're going to use pi again, times radius squared. Number one thing you have to do is not confuse this with the circumference. Luckily, you have notes, right? You can go back and go, okay, what's the circumference formula? Okay, cool. What's the area formula? Okay, cool. So for the area, we're going to need the radius, and we're actually going to square it. Now, we all remember how to square, right? Like 6 squared is, what's 6 squared? Like, let's go like backwards for a second. Just make sure you guys know or remember. What's 6 squared? Yeah, 36. Not 12. What's 4 squared? Does anybody know what 4 squared is? Yep, thanks, Alejandra. So you're going to need to know how to square numbers, right? And when they're ginormous numbers, feel free to use a calculator. If it's not small numbers, all you're doing is multiplying that number by itself twice. So 4 times 4, 16. 6 squared, how did we get 36? Because we did 6 times 6. So squaring, number one mistake kids do is they'll multiply it by 2. And it's like, no, it's a square. So you take that number and you multiply it by itself twice. All right, let's do a problem. So I have my circle here. And we're going to do center and then out. And then we're going to go 5 inches. All right. So the information that I gave you, first you got to determine, did I give you the radius or did I try to trick you now and give you the diameter? Well, it's half. So its radius is equal to 5. So we're good. That's what we need, because our formula is area is equal to pi times r squared. And from the lesson from Monday, you should know that pi is 3.14 times radius squared. So radius is 5, and I'm going to square it. Now, order of operation says I have to do the exponent first. So 5 squared is 25. I can do that in my head. Times 3.14, right? So in order to find the area, I got to multiply these two, right? And of course, use your calculator. You are telling me what you're plugging into the calculator, right? So that's for me showing work. It's like, Miss Amelia, this is what I'm going to plug into my calculator. Okay, so area is equal to 78.5 inches squared. Okay, whenever you do area for any shape, any shape in the world, you're going to put the units and then square it. Okay, perimeter circumference, you do not square it, but for this one, you do square. Okay, so make sure when you write your units, you square them. And that's it. That's how you find area. Okay, let's do a couple more. I have here my circle that has a diameter of 20. Okay. Do I need the diameter? No. It's there to trick you. It's there to trick you. So if the diameter is 20 inches, which is something I don't need right now, I need to know radius. Radius is what I need. All right, so if the diameter is 20 inches, what would be the radius of this circle? The radius of the circle would be 10. 10 inches, right? It would be half. So if the whole line, if it goes across the whole thing, that's called the diameter. I don't need the diameter for this problem. I need it for circumference. Don't need it for this one. Here, I need the radius. Okay, there it is. Radius is 10. That makes me happy. All right, let's plug it in. Area is pi r squared. So 3.14 times 10 squared. 10 squared means 10 times 10. Hopefully you know 10 times 10 is 100 times 3.14. Area equals. Now some of you know the trick of multiplying by tens and multiplying by 100, so you really don't need a calculator. For those of you who need a calculator, plug it in. For those of you who know the trick, since you're multiplying by 100, you know, you're adding 2 zeros, but since it's the decimal, you move the decimal 2 times. 314 inches squared. So my area is 314 inches squared. And so I would need 314 inches squared of grass to cover this circle. If this is like a park and I need to cover it, if I'm going to do a fence around it, I would find the circumference, which is a completely different number. For this problem, if I wanted to do the circumference, circumference is equal to pi times d. So it'd be 3.14 times my diameter. Well, I know my diameter is 20, so then I multiply it by 20. So this would be 3.14 times 20. So my circumference would be 62.8 inches. So of the same circle, my area is 314 inches squared, and my circumference is 62.8 inches. So completely different answers that represent two completely different things. One is your area, which is like the inside part of the circle. One's the circumference, which is like the outside perimeter of the circle. They can ask you for both things. They can ask you for one thing. All right. We just don't know. We got to be prepared for everything. You okay with this? Let's try one more. So we're good. 7 inches. Why do I keep using inches? It doesn't matter. See if you guys can get that answer before I start writing it down. Okay, so for this one, the radius is 7 inches, so I plugged in 7, and then I square it, so 7 squared is 49. Make sure you do the square part first. If you don't, you do get a wrong answer. Then we're going to take 3.14 times 49. That you can do in your calculator. And then we get an area of 153.86, and that's it. So make sure that you need the radius. If they don't give you the radius, you have to solve for the radius. The radius is what we need. I think there was like maybe like 2 or 3 people in this classroom that no matter what I gave you, you used it on Monday's assignment. So even though I just wanted you to use diameter, if they give you a radius, you used it like a diameter, and it's like, no. So be careful. Make sure you have what you need. Make sure you have what you need. And if they give you the diameter, cut it in half, divide it by 2. Okay. Trying to figure out. Okay.